The story of this family represents an alarm bell that reveals gaps in the justice system and social protection. The continued injustice and obstruction are not only a violation of basic human rights but also undermine trust in government institutions. Turkish authorities must act, guided by their ethical and legal responsibilities, to ensure justice. For this family, this requires a transparent investigation into the circumstances of the case, holding those involved in obstruction and corruption accountable, facilitating resettlement procedures, and providing comprehensive psychological and social support for the wife and children. Uncovering the truth and achieving justice is not only a family right but a national duty to uphold the rule of law and protect the dignity of all individuals. Undue punitive measures and ongoing injustice lead to serious psychological disturbances. Feelings of powerlessness, loss of hope, and inability to protect the family are all factors that push individuals to the brink of collapse. In this case, matters have reached the point of an attempted self-harm, which calls for urgent interventions to support the wife's and children's mental health. The long-term effects on children can include post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, and difficulties in social and educational adaptation, requiring specialized care and intensive psychological support. This humanitarian plight exposes the complexities of bureaucracy and corruption in the pursuit of justice for a Palestinian-Syrian family seeking remedy in the heart of Turkey, where hopes for justice intersect with bureaucratic obstacles and injustice. A painful story unfolds of a Palestinian-Syrian family facing a harsh punitive measure that has stretched for 8 years. This hardship has not only touched the legal aspect but also reached the core of human existence, causing severe psychological and physical consequences. The wife, under immense pressure, attempted suicide twice, while the children suffered deep psychological traumas, displacement, and a sense of betrayal. What makes things even more complex and painful is that this family, which should be treated fairly, has been turned into a scapegoat in local conflicts, hindering their pursuit of justice and compensation for losses, to the point that this obstruction reached the presidential office in Ankara, where they were barred from meeting the Turkish president. Undue punitive measures and ongoing injustice lead to serious psychological disturbances. Feelings of powerlessness, loss of hope, and inability to protect the family are all factors that push individuals to the brink of collapse. In this case, matters have reached the point of an attempted self-harm, which calls for urgent interventions to support the wife's and children's mental health. The long-term effects on children can include post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, and difficulties in social and educational adaptation, requiring specialized care and intensive psychological support. The family hope that the resettlement file would be a beacon of hope to end their suffering and start a new life. Resettlement programs are usually a refuge for the most vulnerable and those at serious risk, especially women and children who live in harsh health or social conditions. However, in a suspicious manner, this family's file was systematically disrupted, indicating interventions aimed at hindering their path towards stability. This obstruction goes beyond routine bureaucracy and reaches alarming levels indicating administrative corruption. The family is used as a scapegoat in local conflicts, casting a shadow over the integrity of the procedures taken. In such cases, the interests of some parties may take precedence over the rights of individuals, worsening the injustice. Blocking their access to the highest levels of the state, such as preventing a meeting with the president, confirms the existence of a web of